What is up, guys? Welcome back, and oh boy, do I have something for you today. We are going over the power scaling for Salad Saiyans. What if Goku landed on Vampa instead of Yardrat? And before you ask me, yes, I have my own numbers. These are my takes, not your takes. They're mine. And if you disagree, good. Pause the video, type something angry in the comments, and then unpause because I'm going to keep going regardless. Now look, this is one of those scenarios that fundamentally change how power works in Dragon Ball just by tweaking one thing. Where Goku's pod lands after nabbing. That's it. That one change ripples out into the entire story. This is because the story doesn't really focus on the unimportant story elements, but because of this, I will be using Saiyan Scholar's power levels. Don't worry, I will tell you exactly when this happens, and if it seems out of place, I highly recommend watching the video yourself. This is a story-focused breakdown. I'm walking through the whole scenario, hitting every major beat, every transformation, and every shift in the hierarchy, and I'm putting my own numbers where they matter. I recommend watching the original video if you haven't already, because this is my own spin on it. And now let's get started. So right off the bat, Goku is just beating Frieza on Namek. The planet's blowing up. He's smashing buttons on the Frieza Force ship like a toddler playing at an arcade. And unlike in canon where the ship falls into the planet and he has to scramble for a Ginyu pod, it actually works. The ship takes off. Namek goes boom, and instead of landing on Yardrat and learning instant transmission like he's supposed to, the ship carries him all the way to Vampa. Now Vampa, for those who don't know, is basically the surface of the moon but worse. It's got spider creatures. It's got giant furry beasts, which I'm sure some of you are into. And it's got absolutely nothing else going for it. Goku lands, tries sensing for power levels, and picks up two that actually register. He makes a mental note of where the ship is and flies out to investigate because this is Goku, and of course he does. Paragus sees someone flying towards him and nearly loses his mind because he and Broly have been stranded here. Now, and this is critical for the scaling, this is H762. Not H780 like in the Broly movie, and that's an 18-year difference. Paragus is still in his prime as a Saiyan. He's not the gray hair old man from the movie. He's a fully functional Saiyan warrior. Keep that in your head. Goku lands and Paragus runs up. They figure out they're both Saiyans, and Paragus asks if Goku knows any other living Saiyans. Goku mentions his half-Saiyan son and, oh yeah, Vegeta. That name hits Paragus like a freight train. He goes off. The prince is alive, but Goku calms him down. Vegeta's kind of a jerk, but he's not the worst. Paragus is still heated, but he backs off for now. Then Paragus calls for Broly, and out of a cave walks this massive Saiyan, and Goku could feel it. This guy is strong. In base, Broly's sitting right under Goku's level, and considering that Broly's whole thing is that he grows exponentially during a fight, that right under Goku number has some terrifying implications. Using this, we could put Goku at 1.25 times base Broly, making his power level 2,250,000. Paragus wants off the planet. Goku takes him to the ship, but admits he can't really fly the thing. Paragus recognizes it as Frieza Force tech and gets suspicious. How did a Saiyan get one of Frieza's ships? Goku drops the, oh yeah, I beat Frieza bomb, which floors Paragus. But then Paragus heads back with a warning about King Cold. If Cold finds out Frieza's dead and intercepts them in space, they're done. Goku agrees to lay low. And this is where the real fun begins. There is nothing to do in Vampa. Nothing. So Goku does what Goku always does. He trains. He asks Paragus to spar, but Paragus knows he's hopelessly outclassed. The real training partner is Broly. And over the next few weeks and months, these two just go at it. All day, every day. There's no society, no responsibilities, no Chi-Chi telling Goku to get a job. Just two Saiyans on a rock beating the crap out of each other, and it's beautiful. Broly starts learning. He's inexperienced. He's been fighting animals on Vampa, not martial artists. But he's picking up technique. He's gaining control, and more importantly, he's bonding with Goku. This is huge for Broly as a character because in the movie, his only real relationship was with Paragus and his pet Ba. Now he has a genuine friend and training partner who wants to help him. The key development here is that Broly starts getting better control over his power in base form. Goku hasn't seen the full extent of what Broly can do yet, so he can't help him fully master the rage stuff, but the groundwork is being laid. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the Z Fighters gather the Namekian Dragon Balls and try to witch Goku back, but surprise, he's alive. He doesn't want to come back yet. He wants more time to help Broly control his power and keep training, and honestly, Vampa's perfect for that. No cities to destroy, no collateral damage, they can go absolutely nuclear, and the worst that happens is some spider creatures have a bad day. Eventually, Goku pushes Broly to unleash his full power. Broly's scared, rightfully so, but Goku insists it's the only way to learn control. Broly transforms into his wrathful form. He starts wailing on Goku, and Goku takes the hits, but he knows Broly too well at this point. He knows how fast Broly can climb in power mid-fight, so he doesn't wait around. He goes Super Saiyan and drops Broly with a quick chop to the neck before the wrathful form can outpace even that. And as Broly hits the ground unconscious, Goku just goes, this is gonna take a while. Eventually, Paragus decides they've laid low long enough. The three Saiyans board the ship and head to Earth, and wouldn't you know it, King Cold is heading there at the same time with his freshly repaired son, Frieza. Everything on Earth plays out normally. Then everyone senses two massive powers heading towards the planet. One feels like Frieza. They show up to find Frieza and King Cold, and then this kid with a sword appears. Future Trunks. He goes Super Saiyan and kills both of them. Standard procedure. Trunks drops a capsule with drinks and says Goku should be arriving any second. But then senses something weird. Instead of one power in a small pod, there are three powers in a big ship. The thing lands and Goku hops out all casual. Oh hey, was that Frieza I just sensed? Guess we didn't need to worry about King Cold after all. And then two people walk up behind him. A guy with a mustache and a tail, and a massive dude with long black hair and scars. Obviously Saiyans. At this point in the story, it's safe to say Mecha Frieza is at least on par with Super Saiyan Goku and Namek based on his confidence on arrival. Frieza, being the stronger of the two, is put 1.25 times his father based on his Namek power level. Trunks at this point is the same as the original as he was not aware of Broly and Paragus. Super Saiyan Trunks absolutely dominates Frieza, but still feels the need to block attacks. This makes Super Saiyan Trunks' power level 262.5 million, making his base 5.25 million. Vegeta's brain is doing backflips. A random Super Saiyan kid just showed up, Kakarot's back, and now there are 2 more Saiyans? He scoffs and yells at them because that's Vegeta's love language. Paragus sees Vegeta and the rage flares, but he keeps it together. He's outnumbered, outgunned, and Broly wouldn't want to betray Goku anyways. More importantly, Paragus is starting to think. Vegeta was just a baby when King Vegeta exiled Broly. What's the point of blaming the son for his father's sins? Vegeta essentially says as much himself. I hope you're not here to settle some old grudge. That's all on my father. Which pisses Paragus off also, but makes him think. If King Vegeta never sent Broly away, they'd have died on Planet Vegeta with everyone else. Introductions happen and Broly's nervous. It's the same energy as when he met Frieza in the movie. Goku vouches for him, tells Vegeta they've been training together and that Broly is absurdly powerful. Meanwhile, Trunks is standing there like, what is happening? He pulls Goku aside, tells him more about the androids like normal, and Piccolo hears everything. The 3-year training period begins. Alright, so now we're in the 3-year time skip, and there's a lot going on with power development. Let me break down what everyone's doing. Broly trains with Goku primarily. He gets introduced to Gohan and the two of them hit it off immediately because they're both shy and passive. It's like Piccolo and Gohan, but with Broly being way more openly friendly, almost like an uncle figure. Over the 3 years, Broly masters his wrathful form, full control. No more Berserk episodes in that state. But he does not learn Super Saiyan. He's holding back on purpose. He knows that a Berserk Super Saiyan at his power level will be basically unstoppable, and he's not willing to risk it. Wrathful is enough for now. Gohan trains with both Broly and Piccolo. Goku realizes that since Gohan has rage boosts and has gone great at before, he might be able to learn the Wrathful form too. So Broly starts teaching him. Gohan gets the basic understanding of the concept but can't quite access it yet during training. He needs a real trigger. Remember this because it pays off later. Goku's training alongside everyone and getting stronger naturally. Business as usual for our boy. Vegeta is doing Vegeta things. And since solo training, Gravity Room, the works. He's slightly stronger from having Broly run as a sparring option in the Gravity Room. And then there's Paragus, and honestly, his journey here is kind of underrated. He knows he's the weakest Saiyan by a mile. He can't train with Goku, Vegeta, or Broly. The gap is too massive. So what does he do? He trains with the humans. He works on controlling his grade 8 form so he can use it in battle. He picks up techniques from Krillin. He exploits Senkai boosts from sparring sessions. Is he going to be relevant in the fight against the androids? Probably not. But he went from barely above a Frieza soldier to actually someone useful. And for a guy who has been stranded on a death planet for years, that's respectable growth. As for his grudge against Vegeta, it fades. All this time living among these people. Thinking it over, he realizes it's foolish. The king is dead. The prince didn't do anything directly. Paragus lets it go. It is now the day of the android. Everyone shows up at the location Trunks gave. It's time to find some robots. Before the Z fighters even encounter anyone properly, Paragus gets jumped. Android 19 grabs him and starts draining his energy. Broly sees this and instantly goes wrathful and obliterates 19 with one punch. This is what control looks like. He's furious, but he's thinking. 3 years of training paid off. Broly one-shots Android 19, making him twice as strong as the clown at a minimum. Seeing as Wrathful stated to channel the power of the Great Ape in base form, Wrathful is getting a 10 times amp from base. In another part of the city, Jiro was about to jump Yamcha, but felt that blast and went into hiding. Smart. He realizes his plan is falling apart, and he makes a break for it. The chase begins. During the pursuit, Goku catches the heart virus and drops. Yamcha takes him home. Jiro uses the confusion to slip away and eventually makes it back to his lab. This is where he wakes up 17 and 18. The androids kill Jiro and take 16's pod. Trunk blows up the lab, but it doesn't matter. 16 is already active. The androids head out to find Goku. The group catches up. Vegeta fights 18 and gets handled. Trunks too. They do a little better than canon because of the extra training, but the result is the same. Knocked down. Vegeta is stated to be a little stronger than in canon. This grants him a 1-tier boost. Trunks' training is the same, and there aren't really any stated differences, so we'll leave him the same as in the original, which is 1 tier below Super Saiyan Vegeta in canon. Now here's where it gets really good. Piccolo, Gohan, and Broly take on 17 in a 3-on-1. The synergy is great. Gohan trained with both Piccolo and Broly, so they work together beautifully. Broly goes wrathful, and every time he misses 17, he gets angrier. And angrier means stronger. He starts landing hits, doing a little damage, growing mid-fight exactly like he does in the movie. Wrathful Broly actually contends pretty well against 17, especially after his rage amp. 17 is forced to take the fight a little more seriously, and considering how great the gap still is, I'm going to make 17 2 tiers stronger than Broly. Gohan's watching this, remembering his training with Broly, trying to tap into the Wrathful form himself, but he can't quite get there. Then 17 gets bored and swats Piccolo into a mountain. And that's the trigger. Gohan sees his mentor get demolished. The rage builds alongside Broly, and Gohan finally taps into the power of the Great Ape. He explodes with anger and accesses the Wrathful form for the first time in a real fight. Both Saiyans are now growing stronger as they fight, and 17 actually starts losing ground. He's getting hit more and more and taking real damage. He still outclasses them individually, but the combined pressure of two Saiyans who get stronger every second is becoming a genuine problem. Gohan is able to keep up with Broly, even if he is Berserk right now. This makes Broly 1 tier stronger than Gohan. It is stated they are continuing to get stronger. I'm giving them both a 1 tier bonus. 17 realizes this and calls it, well, we had our fun. The androids bounce. They're worried that if the whole group gangs up, they might actually have trouble. 18 kisses Krillin on the way out because of course she does. And Paragus watches in horror thinking she's about to vaporize him. But there's a problem. Gohan's still in wrathful form and he can't control it. He just unlocked it under extreme stress with basically no training in the actual transformation. He rages out and attacks Broly, but Broly knows this power. He knows how it works. He knows how it feels. He powers up to full and knocks Gohan out with one controlled hit. Careful not to hurt him too bad. Just like Goku did to Broly on Vampa, Broly did to Gohan's out of control form. Same lesson passed down the chain. That's some good storytelling. Piccolo flies out to merge with Kami and meets Cell. The fights go mostly normal. Cell beats Piccolo, absorbs 17 and becomes semi-perfect. Tien holds Cell back with a tri-beam to let 18 and 16 escape. Things go the same as the original, and Tien is still able to hold Cell back, meaning this android stays the same strength. Here's where the biggest consequence of changing Goku's landing spot hits like a truck. Goku never went to Yardrat. He doesn't have instant transmission. Instant transmission to the battlefield and saves both Piccolo and Tien. Here, he can't. Everyone on the lookout senses what's happening. They know they'll die if they go down there unprepared. And Goku doesn't have a teleport to snatch people away. Gohan senses Piccolo dying. Goku tries to stop him from rushing down, but they both end up going with 2 senzu beans. Gohan flies as fast as he can, with Goku, Broly, and Paragus chasing after him. He gets there first, finds Tien barely alive and gives him a senzu. Tien was right on the edge, but the bean saves him, just barely. Then Gohan searches frantically for Piccolo. His energy is fading. Fading. Gone. Completely gone. Gohan looks towards the shoreline and finds Piccolo. Piccolo's dead. And what follows is basically the same energy as Trunks finding future Gohan's body. Gohan goes to Piccolo and tries desperately to wake him up. And when the reality hits, he lets out a primal gut-wrenching scream. His power skyrockets, past Goku, past Broly, past everyone standing there. A flash of light, and the dust settles. Gohan is a Super Saiyan. He achieved it through the same raw grief and loss that drove Goku against Frieza. Except for Gohan, it wasn't just anger. It was the feeling that he failed. He couldn't save his best friend. Gohan is by far the strongest in the group, and going based off his performance in his wrathful form earlier, his power skyrockets close to 7 billion, making him around 3.2 times stronger than wrathful Broly. The group consoles him, tells him they need to go back to the lookout. Gohan lets go of Piccolo, drops back to base, and passes out from exhaustion. And here's a real gut punch. With Piccolo dead, and Piccolo already having merged with Kami, the Dragon Balls are gone. Not just inactive, they're gone. There's no Guardian of Earth anymore. No Dragon Balls, no second chances. Tien's carrying survivor's guilt because he lived and Piccolo didn't, and there's nothing anyone could do about it right now. They fly back to the lookout in silence. During all of this, Vegeta and Trunks have been in the time chamber and are just about ready to come out. They return and go fight Cell, which goes just about the same as usual. Cell is able to absorb 18 to achieve his perfect form, and decides to host the Cell games. Back on the lookout, the group is deciding who should go in the Room of Spirit and Time next. Cell had held a poll, and the majority voted for Broly to go in with Goku, and it makes sense. Goku's Broly's teacher, who better to help him take the next step? The goal is to teach Broly Super Saiyan. Even if he goes Berserk, they need the power because there are no Dragon Balls. There's no safety net. They have to throw everything that they got at Cell. Goku succeeds, sort of. Broly can go Super Saiyan now, but he's volatile. He can partially control it, but he's very prone to outbursts. It's not clean, it's not safe, but it's something. The trade-off? Goku spent so much time teaching Broly that he only got himself to Super Saiyan Grade 3. He knows Grade 4, the Mastered Form, exists in concept, but he didn't have the time to reach it. He's aware of the ceiling, but he couldn't touch it. Goku goes in a second time, this time with Gohan. Now this is where things get crazy. Both of them already have a head start. Goku knows Grade 3 and Gohan already has his Grade 1 form. They reached Mastered Super Saiyan in less time because they're not starting from scratch. But Gohan isn't keeping pace. He's surpassing Goku. The motivation of losing Piccolo, the need to prove himself, the rage, all of it fuels his growth. Despite Goku being ahead initially, Gohan catches up and overtakes him. And then one day during training, Gohan pushes past the Mastered Form. His hair spikes further. Electricity crackles around him. For a brief moment, he touches Super Saiyan 2. He can't hold it. He drops out of it immediately, but he felt it. He knows it exists and has a sliver of experience with it. Goku himself couldn't access it, but he saw it happen. He knows Gohan has another level. They also use this time to have Gohan fully master the Wrathful form. Now he can use it casually as his base form. No drawbacks, no risk of losing control. Oh, and Salad does this thing where since Goku already used 1 month of the chamber back in the original Dragon Ball, he can only do 11 months this time to add up to the 2-year lifetime limit. Is it a cop-out? Yeah, kinda, but it works. And they had a head start anyway, so leaving a month early doesn't hurt them. Vegeta and Trunks are just about to go into the chamber for their second time when Paragus asks to join in, which Trunks agrees. Less food for 3 people means less time, but the training is more effective with a third sparring partner. Vegeta doesn't love the idea Paragus is weak, but he sees the value in having another Saiyan. And what comes out of this chamber run is actually one of the coolest moments in this scenario. The group exits. Vegeta announces he's mastered Super Saiyan just like Goku. Then he tells Paragus to show what he learned. And Paragus, the weakest Saiyan, powers up and transforms into a Super Saiyan. Paragus is a Super Saiyan. It's only grade 1, it's not efficient, but Vegeta channeled Paragus' feelings of inadequacy, his desperate desire to not be left behind, and forced him to break through. The man who was training with Krillin a year ago is now a Super Saiyan. Is it strong compared to everyone else? No, but it's his achievement, and it means he doesn't need his grade 8 form anymore. That's real character growth backed by real power growth, and I love it. So now we've got 6 Super Saiyans heading to the Cell Games. Let me paint the picture of the power hierarchy real quick. At the top, you've got Gohan, who can briefly touch Super Saiyan 2, and Broly, who's monstrously powerful but volatile as a Super Saiyan. After them is Goku with Mastered Super Saiyan and Vegeta and Trunks just below him. Then poor Paragus brought up the rear. Broly's scared of going berserk while in his Super Saiyan form, and Gohan needs real effort to hit Super Saiyan 2. Currently, Super Saiyan Goku is placed 1 tier below Cell like in canon, and the rest of the cast will be scaled based off him. Both Vegeta and Trunks are equal in strength and are placed 1 tier below Goku. Gohan is a little stronger than his father, giving him a 1 tier boost above Goku. This means his base grew over 30 times stronger since he fought the androids. But this isn't even his full power. Gohan's access to Super Saiyan 2 in this scenario makes him able to completely surpass everyone on the lookout. Everyone except for Broly. Broly in his standard Super Saiyan form is more or less equal with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which isn't that crazy when you really think about it. Broly's immense potential and adaptability makes him twice as strong as Gohan's base for the time being. His base form is 38.6 times stronger than when he faced the androids. It is now time for Goku to face Cell, and as stated before, Cell is placed 1 tier above Goku currently. It's a pretty standard fight, no instant transmission Kamehameha because, no instant transmission. The fight's stalemate, and Goku decides to tag out, but instead of giving the ball to Gohan like in canon, he turns to Broly. Goku's not sentimental about this. Cell killed Piccolo and nearly killed Tien. Someone has to put Cell down for real, and Broly might be the guy. Broly starts in his wrathful form, his safe zone. He's doing well and holding his own, but he won't go Super Saiyan because he's afraid of losing control. Now in this scenario, Cell is never given a Senzu Bean by Goku. Seeing as he is comparable to current wrathful Broly, a safe estimate would put him at half strength, making him 1.2 times Broly currently. Cell keeps pushing and taunting Broly, and then Cell stabs Broly with his tail and absorbs some of his energy. But here's the thing about draining Broly's power. A fraction of Broly's energy is worth more than a fraction from anyone else. Cell gets a massive power from this, and Broly realizes he's out of options. He's backed into a corner, and the only way forward is the thing he's most afraid of. He powers into Super Saiyan. Shockwaves. The ground trembles, the light clears. And Broly is standing there with golden hair and those yellow wrathful eyes, and he's not berserk. For the first time, he's holding it together. The training, the growth, the confidence, it all comes together at this moment. The sheer confidence Broly shows in his form easily puts Broly above Cell. Now with Cell's power boost from absorbing energy from the Saiyan, I put him 2 tiers below Super Saiyan Broly. Broly is elated. He's smirking. He rushes Cell with insane speed, overwhelms him with punches and kicks, and finishes him off with a mouth blast that seemingly vaporizes the android. It's over. Everyone celebrates and Broly powers down. Tired but confident. He's conquered his fear. Cell is gone. Except Cell isn't gone. See, Broly made one mistake. He didn't use full power for that finishing blast because the gap seemed so large. He didn't think he needed to. He dropped his guard. From the distance, shockwaves, smoke, and electricity. A red beam pierces through the haze and hits the distracted Broly dead in the chest, right on the old scar. It doesn't just wound him, it reopens the scar. If the beam didn't kill him, the bloodlust will. Broly falls motionless. It seems you forgot I can regenerate. Cell is back. Super perfect Cell. Broly's core surviving energy gave Cell another boost on top of an already massive Zenkai from near death. And he caught Broly with his guard completely down. I'm giving Cell 3 tiers of strength above his power level before, allowing him to surpass Super Saiyan Broly. Paragus goes ballistic. He screams, "You bastard!" Powers up to his new Super Saiyan and charges Cell in a blind rage. Cell swats him into the ground with one hit, out cold. His Super Saiyan that he worked so hard for, useless against this monster. And then Goku feels it. A power rising that dwarfs his own. First Piccolo, then Broly. Gohan's eyes go blank, tears streaming down his face. A scream tears out of him that shakes the entire arena. Light explodes outward. When the dust settles, Gohan is standing there, but he's different. His hair is more defined, his aura has a blue tint. This isn't normal Super Saiyan 2, this is Super Saiyan Rage. The same kind of transformation Trunks pulls off in Dragon Ball Super against Goku Black. The same vein as Vegeta's Rage against Beerus. Gohan's massive potential, his intense history of rage-fueled power-ups, and the grief of losing 2 friends has cost something beyond what he has access in the time chamber. And what follows is absolute annihilation. Now, Super Saiyan Rage is complicated, as in the anime, it allowed Trunks to compete with Super Saiyan Blue tier fighters without the use of God Ki. I will instead be using the manga's interpretation of the form as an upgraded Super Saiyan 2, making it on par with Super Saiyan 3 minus the stamina drain. Gohan kicks Cell so hard that blocking it takes Cell's arm off. Cell regenerates, but Gohan punches him in the gut with enough force to temporarily paralyze him. Then a flurry of punches that breaks Cell into pieces. Cell regenerates again, losing Ki each time. And he thinks about self-destructing, but Gohan is so overwhelmingly fast that Cell can't even find an opening to start the process. Gohan grabs Cell by the legs, spins him into a blur and flings him into the sky, and then This is for Piccolo, Broly, and everyone you killed! He launches a Kamehameha larger than anything anyone has ever seen. Bigger than what his father saw in Kamehameha was in the original timeline. It expands 1,000 feet in diameter as it screams into space. Even the Kais can feel it. The Namekians sense it across the galaxy. Cell is atomized, every last cell. He is not coming back from this. Gohan powers down. He sinks to the ground, drained from the rage transformation, but not completely spent. The mood is bittersweet. He lost 2 friends, but he avenged them. He achieved his goal. Paragus gets healed with a senzu but is broken inside. His Super Saiyan wasn't enough. Broly still died. He feels like he got in the way, and while Vegeta doesn't vow to stop fighting in this timeline, Paragus does. He's done. There's no Dragon Balls on Earth, no Piccolo, no Kami, no Guardian. Goku can't instant transmission to Namek, but King Kai comes through. He contacts the Namekians, who felt that insane power from the Cell games and know their friends on Earth are in trouble. The Namekians use their Dragon Balls. Everyone on Earth feels 2 surges of power. Gohan instantly recognizes what's happening and smiles. Broly and Piccolo are alive again. Broly's body had been brought to the lookout, so he came back first. Then Piccolo, having been buried where he died, flies up to meet everyone. There's a 3rd wish. Dende volunteers to become Earth's new guardian, and he's teleported to Earth. New Dragon Balls are created and 2 wishes are made. Everyone killed by Cell is revived, and Krillin wishes for the android's bombs to be removed. We all know why. Happy ending. For now. And now let's cover what's been going on during the time skip to the Buu saga. Gohan continues training. Unlike in canon where he falls off, he has no reason to stop here. Goku's alive, Broly's around, Goten's born. He's surrounded by people who love to train and it rubs off on him. He fits training around his schedule, becomes Great Saiyaman earlier, meets Videl earlier because she wants to know his identity. They start dating about a year ahead of the original timeline, and Videl starts training with Gohan earlier too. Broly keeps up with training. He and Paragus now have their own place in the city. Bulma gave them some cash to start their lives. Broly trips with Goku and Vegeta or Gohan and Piccolo, occasionally Videl and Goten. He's mastered Super Saiyan Grade 4 now, full control, no berserk risk, no energy drain. He's the strongest of the group. Goku and Vegeta both have Super Saiyan 2 now. Goku even has his Super Saiyan 3, though it drains stamina badly since he discovered it late and doesn't have the afterlife energy advantage he had in canon. Vegeta and Goku are pretty equal at Super Saiyan 2. Paragus is aging. Saiyans stay in their prime into their 80s and then age rapidly. By age 774, Paragus is around 75 years old, and his decline has started. He's retired from fighting anyway, good timing honestly. One cool detail, Android 16 never died in this timeline. He hangs out with the Sun family, loves the nature around Goku's area, and visits Android 17 on his island. This creates a link between the Z Fighters and 17 that didn't exist before. It's a small detail, but it matters later. Goku and Broly take up farming together because they both need money. These 2 idiots are just out there growing radishes and sparring on their lunch breaks, and honestly, that sounds like the best life possible. Now onto the power levels. With the 7 years of peace, I'm putting both Goku and Vegeta 1 tier stronger than base Broly during the Cell Saga as they are equal in power. Gohan never stopped training in this timeline, and because of this, he's stronger than both Goku and Vegeta. It's reasonable to put him 1 tier above both the Saiyans. Broly is still the strongest of the group, with his Grade 4 Super Saiyan actually being a bit stronger than Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 form. This makes Super Saiyan Broly 1 tier stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Everyone signs up for the World Tournament. Same roster mostly, except Android 17 joins because 16's connection to the group actually got 18 to reach out to him. 16 offers to protect 17's island while he's gone. 17 accepts, and now we've got 17 in the tournament because of the butterfly effect from Android 16 surviving the Cell games. That's beautiful chain of consequences writing right there. The tournament goes differently in a few key ways. Videl versus Spopovich. Videl actually wins because she met Gohan earlier and has better ki control and more power. But Spopovich, pissed about losing, jumps back in and attacks her to complete Babidi's energy gathering mission. This sends Gohan into Super Saiyan Rage again. He one-shots Spopovich so fast nobody even sees it. Yamu stabs Gohan with the energy gathering device and gets a ton of energy from the Rage form. But Gohan quickly knocks him into a wall and destroys the device along with all the gathered energy. Gohan's power really is no joke, no explanation needed. 400 times is 400 times. Shin and Kibito reveal themselves early. The group chases Spopovich and Yamu to Babidi's ship, watches them get killed for failing, and Dabra checks and turns Krillin and Piccolo to stone. He also takes his opportunity to kill Kibito. At the tournament, 17 beats 18 in the finals and throws the match to Mr. Satan for cruise money. Now inside Babidi's ship, 5 fighters head in. Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Broly, and Shin. Vegeta versus Pui Pui? Easier than canon. Next. Goku versus Yakan? Same light explosion trick. Next. Gohan versus Dabra? Here's where it changes completely. Gohan's been training this whole time. He's not the rusty, weakened Gohan from canon. He starts in Wrathful form just to test Dabra, a little outmatched, but he's feeling things out. Super Saiyan matches up well. Then Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2 and straight up kills Dabura. And yeah, Gohan kills him. He knows that Dabra's death reverses the stone effects on Krillin and Piccolo. It's practical, it's not cruel. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan couldn't even match Dabura in canon, so it's nice to see our half-blooded boy catch the win in this scenario. Super Saiyan Gohan is more or less on par with Dabura currently, and his ascended state allows him to dispose of the Demon King with ease. This is where it all falls apart for Babidi. With Dabura dead and not enough energy from the failed collection, he tries to possess someone to generate energy through combat. He looks into Vegeta's mind. Same darkness, but the desires aren't as strong this time. Goku's alive. Vegeta's been fighting him regularly. He's content. Tough target. He looks into Broly's mind, senses the hidden rage, the fear of going berserk. But Broly has no real evil intention to exploit. And if Babidi somehow did trigger the rage, Broly might go berserk against Babidi, which would just get him killed. Silence Pool overwhelmingly voted that the possession wouldn't work on either of them. Vegeta feels Babidi trying to worm it and just brushes it off. Doesn't even flinch. Then Babidi tries Broly, and Broly doesn't even react. It just doesn't work. Babidi is found, and Babidi is killed. Buu's egg has barely any energy, nowhere close to hatching. Shin takes it away and seals it, mentioning that Lord Beerus will destroy it when he wakes up. And just like that, the Buu saga is over before it begins. No Majin Buu, no Majin Vegeta, no Ultimate Gohan, no Fusion, no Potara, no Elder Kai unlock, none of it. But the group does learn about Beerus for the first time through Shin's mention. Goku immediately wants to fight him, big surprise, but Shin shuts that down because Beerus is sleeping and also wildly out of their league. This plants a seed though. Vegeta knows he needs to get stronger. Goku discovers Super Saiyan 3 during his own training, but Vegeta dismisses it as it's too draining. Instead, Vegeta starts experimenting with combining the Wrathful form with Super Saiyan, inspired by Broly and Gohan having the form. This is going somewhere. Keep it in your head. Now some time passes. Beerus wakes up and visits King Kai. He fights Goku in Super Saiyan 3, who's a little weaker with the form than in canon, since he discovered it later and doesn't have the afterlife stamina advantage. Now Salad says Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a little less efficient here than in canon, however his consistent training should put his base a little higher than in the original. I'll take his statements as a Super Saiyan 3 form in general is a little more draining and he can't use the full extent of it. Beerus heads to Earth to find the other Saiyans because in this timeline, Goku isn't even the strongest Saiyan. He's actually one of the weaker ones. Beerus arrives at the party. No Buu exists in this timeline, so there's no pudding incident. Beerus wishes to enjoy the party for a bit. Then Beerus remembers why he's here and asks Vegeta to fight. Now here's the lineup. Vegeta goes first. He busts out his new Wrathful form he's been practicing and cranks it all the way up to Super Saiyan 2 with it. He still gets handled pretty easily by Beerus, the same as Goku. Salad doesn't differentiate the fights between Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and compares them. This makes Vegeta's base 4 times Goku's base. Gohan steps up, goes straight to Super Saiyan 2, but then eventually powers up to Super Saiyan Rage. He puts up more of a fight than Vegeta, but Beerus still takes him down without too much trouble. Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 form is stated to be a little stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, meaning it's one tier above the long hair transformation. Broly's up next, and this is where Broly starts paying attention. Broly puts up the best fight out of any of them, better than even Gohan at Super Saiyan Rage, but Beerus starts pushing back, and the cycle begins. Broly gets knocked down, gets back up, gets more frustrated, gets knocked down again, uses more stamina, gets more frustrated. I'm putting Super Saiyan Broly one tier above Super Saiyan Rage Gohan, and due to the rage building up, Broly gets an additional one tier power boost. And then Goku hears it, the screaming. He flashes back to their first meeting on Vampa when he had to suppress Broly's rage, but this time, there's no suppressing it. Broly's hair shifts from gold to green. His eyes go blank. He's lost control for the first time since that initial Wrathful blow. And then he surges into a full power Super Saiyan, legendary, whatever you want to call it, the big green boy. He actually knocks Beerus back, forces Beerus to put in real effort, maybe around 25% of his power. Now Salad uses the movie scaling for this part of the scenario. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly is matching 25% Beerus, meaning this form is 160,000 times his base form. This works out pretty well, as this is the same as a Super Saiyan 3 turning into a Super Saiyan 3. Kind of thematically fitting, I think. But Broly's not as strong as his movie counterpart because this is years earlier. Beerus eventually puts him down too. Then Vegeta steps up again with something he's been hiding. He adjusts back into Wrathful form. Beerus is unimpressed. He already beat this. But Vegeta smirks and starts combining with Super Saiyan. He begins growing in size like he's about to become a golden great ape. The power of the great ape merged with the power of a Super Saiyan. But then he shrinks back down to normal height, coated in a golden aura. When it clears, Vegeta looks completely different. Longer hair, a tail, red fur. For us, this is Super Saiyan 4. But Vegeta calls it Wrathful Super Saiyan because he sees it as a different route from the numbered forms. Whatever you call it, it's here, and it's powerful. Vegeta's base power in this form is comparable to where Broly was at full power, and he hasn't even started raising his ki yet. He powers up and fights Beerus, doing even better than Broly because while his raw power is similar, his skill and control are leagues ahead. He keeps pushing, keeps powering up, and Beerus is actually having fun. Wrathful Super Saiyan in this scenario is stated as a 500 times boost from base form, which puts Vegeta currently at one tier above Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. And taking this into account, Vegeta's new base form has grown 8,333 times stronger than when he first fought Beerus. Now this is an absolutely absurd power increase, but hey, it's already here. You can complain about it in the comments. But even Wrathful Super Saiyan, even what is essentially Super Saiyan 4 isn't enough. Beerus is just that guy. Vegeta's surprised at how strong Beerus actually is. Someone suggests using the Dragon Balls to find out about the Super Saiyan God that Beerus keeps talking about. They summon Shenron, learn about their ritual, and they need 6 Saiyans. But here they have more than 6. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Broly, Goten, Trunks, and even Paragus. Videl doesn't need to reveal she's pregnant because they got Saiyans coming out of their ears. The question is, who gets to form? This was put to a poll, and Goku wins. The reason makes sense though. Broly's powerful but lacks control. Give him a god form and he might go berserk with divine power. Yikes. Gohan is strong and controlled, but he's a half Saiyan and they're worried the ritual won't work on him. Vegeta would rather earn his power on his own rather than have it handed to him. Besides, he wants to focus on mastering Wrathful Super Saiyan. Goku is actually the weakest main Saiyan, so the god form actually catches him up to everyone else instead of making an already strong fighter broken. The ritual happens. Goku gets Super Saiyan God. His power skyrockets past everyone, past full power Broly, past Vegeta's Wrathful Super Saiyan, past everything. Fight with Beerus goes similarly to the movie. No planet destruction bet since there's no Buu incident to trigger it. It's cleaner than the original and ends about the same way. Now with the same reasoning as last time, Salad uses the movie power scaling. Now that we're in Dragon Ball Super, the multipliers for this form get really insane. Super Saiyan God is 32 million times base. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly are trained on Beerus' planet. Gohan visits occasionally, he's busy with life. But Broly's encouragement and his changed childhood keep him motivated enough to show up regularly. Vegeta wants to unlock Super Saiyan God on his own, no ritual. He also wants to perfect Wrathful Super Saiyan. Seeing how powerful God actually was changes perspective on the ritual form's power. Broly is there because Whis is specifically interested in him. Whis saw how Broly's power exploded against Beerus and it completely fell apart because he couldn't control it. Whis wants to train Broly to manage that power. The immediate goal isn't God forms, it's getting Broly to Super Saiyan 2 so he can better control his Super Saiyan power and eventually ease into full power without losing his mind. Gohan also visits Beerus' planet to get some additional training. Being surrounded by God Ki users and sparring with them actually allows him to access and transform into a Super Saiyan God. Since he was the first Super Saiyan 2 user and the most proficient with it, he helps Broly achieve Super Saiyan 2 as well. The Frieza Force does their thing, gather Dragon Balls, revive Frieza, and bring him back to health. They tell him about the Saiyans on Earth, 4 full-blooded ones and some hybrids. Their intel is garbage. They've been watching from the outside with no idea about God forms, Wrathful Super Saiyan, any of it. There hasn't been a major power showcase on Earth recently other than the brief Beerus scuffle, so they're basing everything on outdated information. Frieza trains, gets Golden Form and heads to Earth thinking it'll be easy. Oh, buddy. Gohan fights Frieza first in his base form, and handles Frieza's final form comfortably. Think about that. Gohan's base is enough for final form Frieza. Frieza goes golden and gets the upper hand, but Gohan's just stalling until the others arrive. Now with Gohan handling final form Frieza pretty easily, this gives him a reasonable 3-tier leg up on the Space Tyrant. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly show up. They see Golden Frieza, shrug, and collectively power up. Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta all go Super Saiyan Blue, just casually. All 3 of them at the same time. Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta are actually all equal in power level here, and Super Saiyan Blue is a 50 times multiplier from Super Saiyan God, so that would make it a 1.6 billion times increase from base. Broly powers up to a different form, his version of Super Saiyan 2, which looks like a mix of legendary Super Saiyan and regular Super Saiyan 2. Green hair, yellow eyes, electricity, full power under control. He's turned his berserker nature into his own version of Super Saiyan 2, and it nearly matches Blue. Since this form is a combination of his legendary Super Saiyan and his Super Saiyan 2 forms, it's fair to multiply the 2 for a total of a 60 million times increase from base. Broly in this state is almost as strong as the other Saiyans when they're in Blue, meaning he has 1 tier below them in this state. This makes his base 80 times stronger than the other Saiyans. They play rock, paper, scissors for who gets to fight Frieza. Broly wins because of course the most Dragon Ball way to decide fate is rock, paper, scissors. The fight goes exactly as poorly for Frieza as you'd expect. Broly beats on him until Frieza's too tired to even defend himself in golden form. Despite the power difference, Broly is still increasing in power, and then, remembering what happened with Cell, Broly doesn't make the same mistake. He uses his full power and obliterates Frieza with a mouth blast. No half measures. He makes absolutely sure Frieza's dead because the last time he got cocky with a finishing move, he took a beam to the chest and died. Broly learned from his death, and that's growth. As stated, Broly does continue to get stronger during the beatdown on Frieza, giving him just the edge needed to match his Super Saiyan Blue buddies. He is 1 tier stronger than before. Kind of an underwhelming arc power-wise since everyone is so far above Frieza, but it's really more of a showcase of how far they've come. The real fights are coming. After defeating Frieza, training continues. Their group encounters Champa, and a Universe 6 tournament kicks off. The team is Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, and Broly. No need for Monaka this time. Everyone gets a 1 tier boost from before due to the training period. Before the tournament, everyone hits the time chamber. Goku and Vegeta go in first and do something clever. Vegeta teaches Goku Wrathful Super Saiyan, and both of them work on perfecting it to the point where maintaining it costs virtually no stamina. It essentially becomes their new base form. They get Saiyan indefinitely, and it's empowered by the God Ki they already have. Again, Goku and Vegeta get a 1 tier boost from before due to training in the Room of Spirit and Time, and are further amplified by their use of Wrathful Super Saiyan. Gohan and Piccolo go in next. Gohan focuses on his God form since he fell behind on those, and ends up achieving Mastered Super Saiyan Blue, the manga version where you contain all the aura and use Blue at peak efficiency. Piccolo, meanwhile, from a full year of training with Gohan, actually figures out how to use God Ki. He becomes a godlike Namekian. He doesn't get a new form, but his base power jumps enormously. Another year training, another tier boost. Now Gohan actually perfected his Super Saiyan Blue form in this scenario, which gives him an overwhelming and incredible power boost. This state is 80 times the standard Super Saiyan Blue form. Broly and Gohan train together for an extra day. Broly improves his custom Super Saiyan 2 further and gets a better grasp on God Ki, the last training session before the tournament. They are both given another 1 tier boost. I'll hit the highlights. Goku vs Frost. Goku fights in Wrathful Super Saiyan since he's been maintaining it. Still loses to Frost's Poison Needle because cheap shots don't care about power levels. Piccolo vs Frost. Piccolo is suspicious of how Frost beat Goku. During the fight, he spots the needle using his clones, then blasts Frost out of the ring before reporting the cheating. Gets the legit win and exposes the fraud. Chad move. This might be my only chance to give Piccolo a power level. The ease of his win actually puts his power level 2 tiers above Frost. Piccolo vs Vegeta. Gets exhausted by the heat but figures out Vegeta's weakness. Concedes to let Vegeta take over. Vegeta vs Cabba. Same as canon. Vegeta teaches Cabba Super Saiyan through that tough love thing. Vegeta vs Hit. Vegeta has to go blue but loses anyway. Time skip is just too busted. Gohan vs Hit. Gohan does much better by studying Hit during the Vegeta fight. Figures out how Hit uses his ability. He goes Mastered Super Saiyan Blue which shocks everyone, even Whis and Beerus. He tires Hit out significantly, but Hit extends his time skip past a full second and eventually takes Gohan down. Broly vs Hit. It's the final matchup. Broly goes Super Saiyan 2 immediately and realizes hand-to-hand combat will work against someone who can skip time. He stops, calms himself, and transforms into Super Saiyan God for the first time in combat. This is a completely different looking Broly. Not massive, not bulky, just his normal calm self with red hair. It's unsettling in how different it is from every other form he's used. Now, as you already know, Super Saiyan God is a 32 million times boost. He does better against hit, but it's still not enough. So Broly goes airborne and uses Blaster Meteor, his most chaotic, unpredictable attack. Ki blast firing in random directions, the explosions expanding outward. Hit might be able to counter individual attacks, but you can't time skip a wall of omnidirectional destruction. Vados and Whis have to protect the audience. The arena gets annihilated. Hit gets overwhelmed and blasted off the stage, and Universe 7 wins. Broly is drained from using a form he barely controls for a massive attack, but he's happy. Tournament ends with Zeno appearing, which happens and everyone goes home. Okay, so here's where things get really spicy. In Trunks' timeline, he's fending off a shadowy figure, but it's not Goku Black, it's Vegeta Black. Why Vegeta? Simple. Zamasu did his research wrong. He saw Vegeta maintain blue the best out of everyone. He saw Broly only using God form and assumed it was weak. He saw Gohan struggling with Mastered Blue and thought it was just regular blue being poorly controlled. He learned Gohan was a half Saiyan and assumed he wouldn't get full Saiyan benefits like Zenkai's. Zamasu's wrong about basically everything, but he still picked Vegeta's body, which isn't a bad choice, just not an optimal one. But Trunks doesn't escape alone. He has a friend, future Broly. Quick flashback. After defeating Cell, Trunks remembered that if Broly and Paragus existed on Vampa in the past timeline, they'd be there in this timeline too. After the Boo crisis in his timeline, he and Bulma built a ship to Vampa and found future Broly, alone. Future Paragus died of old age and from the harsh conditions, being over 90 years old. Future Broly was alone on that rock, and Trunks saved him, gained his trust, and brought him to Earth. Future Broly traded Trunks, mastered his wrathful form, but Trunks could never teach him Super Saiyan because making Broly angry to transform would just kill everyone. Then Vegeta Black arrived and wrecked everything. Back in the present timeline, the time machine appears at Capsule Corp. Everyone sees future Trunks inside, and then they see another Broly. Present Broly meeting his future self is a whole thing. Vegeta Black shows up to the present timeline. Beerus and Whis sense the God Key in the time ring, and Vegeta sees his imposter. And unlike Goku, who would have wanted to fight and gauge the opponent's power, Vegeta goes straight to Super Saiyan Blue, fires a full power Final Flash and kills Vegeta Black on the spot. No warm-up, no banter, no, let me see how strong you are. Just pure, unadulterated rage that someone had the audacity to steal his body and kill his wife. Huh. That was actually pretty easy. What a pathetic excuse for an imposter. While the time machine recharges, the group trains. Present Broly and Gohan have future Broly tap into Super Saiyan briefly, something Trunks gonna do because the anger-based method would have been too catastrophic. But Broly knows himself, and Gohan has mastered the wrathful pathway. They find a safer route. The bigger group heads to the future. Trunks, Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, and both Brolys. But Beerus and Whis warn them about Zamasu, having visited Universe 10 and figured out who Vegeta Black actually was. In the future, Zamasu's nervous. Vegeta Black hasn't come back. He senses the incoming fighters and for the first time feels actual anxiety, though his immortality gives him the confidence once the fighting starts. The group finds Zamasu, attacks him and completely demolishes him in terms of raw power, but he keeps regenerating. He's immortal. He smugly explains everything. There's no Zeno blood and cop-out this time. Instead, Gohan and Trunks come up with something better. They convince Shen to use the time ring from Universe 10 to travel into the future and collect the Super Dragon Balls. Whis goes along because, surprise, angels can just travel through time. Nobody knew that until now. Shen and Whis collect the Super Dragon Balls in the future and make a wish. Erase Zamasu from every timeline he could possibly exist in. Not just this one, all of them. Immortal or not, the Super Dragon Balls don't care. Zamasu is gone from every reality. Meanwhile, Goku went to Kami's house and learned the Mafuba as a backup plan. He comes back all hyped to fight Zamasu. Here's the news and he's just kinda bummed he doesn't get to use his cool new technique. Vegeta, meanwhile, took both Brolys into the time chamber for some training while all this was happening. He comes out flanked by two identical Brolys in matching outfits, and just walks away, leaving everyone to figure out which one is from which timeline. Future Trunks and future Broly head back to their timeline with extra fuel, and the arc wraps up way cleaner than the original. A few months of normal life. Everyone continues training on Beerus' planet. Goku is working towards mastered Super Saiyan Blue. Broly is trying to achieve Super Saiyan Blue after tapping into God. Vegeta is perfecting Wrathful Super Saiyan to the point of zero stamina drain. Gohan visits occasionally, helps Goku access Mastered Blue, and works on learning Wrathful Super Saiyan himself. The roles are actually swapped between Goku and Gohan. Gohan teaches Goku about Mastered Blue since Gohan got it first, while Goku helps Gohan with Wrathful Super Saiyan. Goku meets Zeno, and the Tournament of Power gets set up with just one Zeno this time. The exhibition match features Goku, Gohan, and Broly. Easy work. The group splits up to recruit. Goku and Gohan get Krillin 18, and through 18 they get 17, thanks to that 16 connection. Plus Piccolo and potentially Tien. Vegeta and Broly go to the future. Vegeta checked with Zeno through Whis, got clearance and recruited future Trunks and future Broly. Goku's freaked out, but Vegeta's smug because his recruits are stronger than Goku's. The final team is Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Broly, future Trunks, Piccolo, Krillin, Android 18, and Android 17. No Frieza, no Monaka, no Tien needed. A stacked roster. The tournament starts. Universe 9 gets wiped out like normal. Everyone feels Jiren's power and realizes how serious he is. Krillin almost gets ringed out by Frost, who is on a rampage without Frieza to worry about, but Piccolo catches him with his stretchy arms. Piccolo, Krillin, and 18 then triple team Frost, which is absurd overkill given Piccolo's God Key, and eliminate him easily. Broly and Gohan pick up the Universe 6 fighters like Botama and Magetta, which attracts Caulifla. Gohan fights her. He doesn't train her like Goku did in canon, but he also doesn't go all out immediately either. Eventually, Gohan blasts her off the stage knowing she's a growing threat. This enrages Kale, who goes full Berserker Legendary. Gohan drops Wrathful Super Saiyan. Goes Super Saiyan God and overwhelms her. Now, Salad uses overwhelms Kale instead of any other term that would imply a stronger domination multiplier. Super Saiyan God Gohan is 2 tiers above the Berserk Universe 6 Saiyan. Broly versus Hit round 2. Hit fights clean this time, but eventually pulls out his time lock to trap Broly. Just when Hit's about to capitalize, future Broly tackles him out of nowhere. Hit forgot about the other Broly. This lets present Broly break free, and the two Brolys overwhelm Hit together and knock him out. Currently, Broly doesn't use Super Saiyan God in this fight, but it's necessary to calculate the base forms. Super Saiyan God Broly was 1 tier above Perfected Blue Gohan, so the same will apply here. Future Broly is comparable enough to help our Broly. I put ours 2 tiers above the future one. 2 Brolys because 1 wasn't enough. I love this scenario. Vegeta and Future Trunks handle Universe 2, taking out Ribrian with a father-son Gallic gun. Universe 4's tiny fighters expose themselves but manage to eliminate Future Trunks and Future Broly in the process. Annalisa forms up and gets taken down by Universe 7's number advantage. Piccolo and Gohan dispose of Dispo easily. Toppo goes God of Destruction mode, but it's 6v1 and he eventually gets taken down. Goku steps up against Jiren. He's stronger than in canon. Master Blue Kaioken is a serious power. He fight suppress Jiren and does well enough to make Jiren actually work for it. Goku launches the Spirit Bomb, which is significantly more powerful this time. Jiren actually struggles with it, at least more than he did in canon. But Jiren releases more power and overwhelms it. The Spirit Bomb collapses. Goku taps into Ultra Instinct Omen for the first time. Same as canon in concept, but Goku's higher base power means he puts up a noticeably better fight. He forces Jiren to power up a bit more. Now exactly how much stronger Goku is here is completely up for debate. Taking the vague statements, I believe it's completely fair to give Goku 3 tiers above his canon self. But it's not enough. Jiren takes him down. Now with Vegeta versus Kaba, Vegeta deliberately fights in Super Saiyan 2, a useless 4 for him, just to test Kaba and teach him Super Saiyan 2. He promises to revive Universe 6 no matter what, then eliminates Kaba. Universe 6 is erased. Vegeta's in a sour mood, but he's determined to win now. Now I'm putting Vegeta's base equal to Goku's here. Krillin and 18 are the first Universe 7 eliminations, besides the future fighters. 6 fighters remain. Goku can't access Ultra Instinct again. It's time for strategy. Everyone powers up to their maximum. Goku helps Broly push her to Super Saiyan Blue. Unstable, struggling, but the power output is insane. The formation? 17 throws barriers as smokescreens and shields. Piccolo and his clones charge special beam cannons for surgical strikes during openings. Broly, Vegeta, Gohan, and Goku attack in coordinated waves. Think about this firepower. 2 mastered blue users, one with Kaioken, plus 2 more blues, one of whom is Broly. Backed by a God Key, Piccolo firing special beam cannons in 17's barriers. Jiren is losing ground. Every time he tries to redirect attention to Piccolo, 17 shields him and the blues punish Jiren for looking away. Piccolo's special beam cannons, now empowered by God Key, are genuinely threatening even to Jiren. Piccolo's special beam cannons attack potency is between 3 to 4 times his base. They push Jiren to the edge. The plan? Hold him down and destroy the ground beneath him. Gohan and Broly grab Jiren from behind in a sacrifice play. 17 throws up layers of barriers around all 3 so nobody can escape. Vegeta fires a final flash. Piccolo and his clones fire light grenades, pushing them all towards the edge. Now I'm going to contextualize the power scaling here. Gohan and Broly are the strongest here, as they're the ones planned to hold Jiren back. Piccolo's Hellzone grenade is around equal to Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta's final flash. Goku is also very powerful on his own and is acting as a distraction. Jiren starts breaking free, but Goku's already in the air above the blast zone. He throws a flurry of Destructo discs, picked up by Krillin, and shatters the ground beneath Jiren's feet. Gohan and Broly fall into the void as planned, but Jiren has no footing. The remaining fighters all blast them off the stage. Taking the power levels from before, the safest thing I can do is multiply them across the board and match this current 75% Jiren. Each of the Saints have grown immensely since the start of the tournament in power. It's fair to say Piccolo's around Super Saiyan God Gohan's level due to his potential with God Key. During the fight, Piccolo unleashes the Hellzone grenades, which Blue Vegeta matches with his final flash. Hellzone grenade is a 2x2x multiplier, whereas the final flash is a 4x multiplier. This makes Vegeta easy to scale off Piccolo. Kaioken Perfected Blue Goku, okay, that's a mouthful, is a little weaker than Perfected Blue Gohan due to them training together before the tournament, which gives Gohan the 1 tier edge above his enhanced father. In the previous segment, Super Saiyan God Broly was able to outperform Perfected Blue Gohan. Applying that same formula here would have Broly outshine everyone here to a very disproportionate margin. I would instead say Standard Blue Broly is 1 tier above Perfected Blue Gohan, which still gives him a massive leap on his base form. I would attribute this to stronger training, allowing the gap to be closed a bit. And with this, Jiren is eliminated. He never reached full power because the team coordinated well enough to prevent him from getting there. Goku never masters Ultra Instinct. There's no dramatic solo power-up moment. It was a team effort. Strategy, sacrifice, and coordination over raw power, and honestly, that's kind of more satisfying. 4 fighters from Universe 7 remain. The MVP goes to Goku. He's still on stage, he had the most strategic impact, and he helped Broly break through the blue mid-tournament. His wish? The same as always. Restore every erased universe, because Goku wants to fight all these strong people again. And here are the final levels for our base Saiyans. And that is what if Goku landed on Vampa from a power perspective. From the moment Goku's pod touches down on that barren rock all the way through the tournament of power, having Broly as a constant ally completely reshapes the power dynamics of the entire series. The training timelines change, the transformations come in completely different order. Characters who would normally plateau like Gohan and Piccolo actually get pushed to stay relevant because the stakes are always higher. Broly being in the mix means everyone trains harder, everyone scales faster, and the fights hit different. And that team takedown of Jiren at the end, that is one of the most satisfying conclusions I've seen in a what if scenario. No Ultra Instinct solo moment, no last second power up, just pure strategy and teamwork. Exactly the kind of ending Dragon Ball almost never gives us, but probably should. Big shout out again to Salad Stain for this scenario and Sang Scholar for helping fill in the gaps. You both made this one a blast to cover. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, leave a comment telling me exactly what scenario you want to see next, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.